How's it going, everyone? I'm Contemption, and today I'm going to be going over my free-to-play account and how I'm beating high-level barbarians in Lost Kingdom. It's not as easy as you might think. It's definitely a struggle as a free-to-play account with not great commanders. Like, not bad commanders by any means, but not great for barb hunting. I don't have Mina. I don't have Double C at any good capacity. I don't even have Mina unlocked on this account because it is a free-to-play account. He only is unlocked once you purchase something, and I haven't done that. I don't even have YSG unlocked, so I can't really chain barbs. I could use Ethelfled, but honestly, my Richard also is not good. My Richard's only a level 3-1-1-1, so he's not that good. Most of my commanders are not great for barbarian hunting. They're barely good for PvP, but I'm going to show you how I'm able to go out and chain and save action points. There is a methodology behind it, and it really has worked for me, especially when we're talking about Bunny Bonanza and how many barbs I've had to grind for this. It's crazy. If you can unlock the fourth column, obviously much easier, but it's 10 bucks. And also a lot easier on my other account in 2396, which I didn't unlock the fourth column, but I have a lot more commanders, a lot more T4, and on this account, I do not have that many, especially because we just had war and I lost about 200,000 troops. So stick around. I'm going to go over with you how I do this, best way for me and how I've found. And if you have any comments below, please drop them in. I've got a lot more Lost Kingdom left to do. So if you have any hints or suggestions, happy to hear them. But let's get through the intro, and here we go. Okay, so what are we running on this account? What I'm doing is I am attacking with Lohar primary, Richard secondary. Like I showed you, my Richard is not very strong. My Lohar is not even very strong. He's only level 49, but he's expertised. But my Richard's only a 3-1-1-1. Now, what I'm doing is I am defeating the barbarian to pretty much red or low yellow, and then using my other troops to attack. Why am I doing that? Because it does not matter how much damage you do on your other marches, you're still going to get the same rewards. It's not like a barbarian fort, and I don't have a report to show you where it's different tiers of rewards. So the more percentage you do against the barbarian fort, the more higher rewards chances you get. It's not even always better. It just depends on your luck. But this is what I'm doing. I'm using Lohar. I'll show you my talent tree. I'll show you what gear I'm using because I did swap the gear I had on Bjorn for PvP onto my Lohar, who's running infantry as a secondary, or as the troop type, because I have Richard as the secondary commander. It buffs to infantry. It only makes sense. I'm trying to get as much buffs out of this as I can. I'll show you what rune I'm using. Also, I've got a 5% troop defense buff. You should have lots of those. Those boosts accumulate really quickly. You should have no problems getting these. You get them from events. You get them from, gifts. When you get gifts from people buying things, or when you get this, I believe that comes from some of the rewards as well. You can get attack buffs from there. But I think this is probably on the red now. Yep. We'll just go click this on, and boom. I'm not going to lose a lot of troops on these other marches, which is good because they're not going to be healing like Lohar and Richard is. Now, once this is done, this is a level 34 barbarian. It's fairly strong. Once I'm finished here, I did lose a little bit, but if I jump back and forth between like level 35, to say 33 to 35 and 30 to 32, I can usually bounce back up on my health just because they're so much easier. Like a level 30 barbarian, I'm going to be able to bounce back up to almost a full troop march just from hitting this bar, because I'm going to heal faster than it can hurt me. But let's see the gear that I'm running on Lohar. This is the gear. I've got great gear for one infantry march, which is what I was running in field fighting. I was running Bjorn and Sun Tzu. Did fantastic in my opinion. I think it did great. I don't have Charles yet unlocked to 6-star. I'm close. I should have this by the next war. Fingers crossed. But I've been using Bjorn and Sun Tzu. I think that's great. And I should have YSG unlocked as well, which will be great because I can get him to like a 5-3-1-1 before I have to use him in the next war. But here's Lohar. This is the gear. You don't have to use gear exactly like this. You can use Other gear like this Blessed Blade, it does great for health, especially if you have it specialized. Helm, you can use almost anything. Windsweep's a great set. If you're doing barbarians, you should have Windswept. Obviously, I don't have the gloves on Windswept yet because I've been more focused on one march. Let's just see how that barbarian's doing before I get... Oh, almost missed it. Did we still get it? We still got it. And then we'll jump over to this 31 and this 35. And that way I am getting great rewards. I'm keeping my action point burn. Oh, no, don't do that. My action point burn very low because as I attack more barbs, it's less and less cost for action points. And I'll show you that talent in a second. But we're almost back to full troop capacity. I can only bring out 172,000 anyways. And the rest of those are probably severely wounded and can't return to my march from healing anyways. Let's start this off and we'll jump back in here. Obviously, you want to make sure you have lots of action points. So once you're in the red, you're not having to pop those potions and then you miss the opportunity of hitting that barb with all your marches. But okay, so you can use lots of different gear. It does not have to be this. You can use cavalry. It really doesn't have to be infantry, especially as a 3-1-1-1. I'm not getting a huge amount of benefits for having infantry, just a bit of defense and a bit of attack. It's not the end of the world. You can 100% use cavalry with Lohar and Richard. You can use archers with Lohar and Richard if you want. Not highly suggested, but if that's the gear you have, then you should kind of lean towards the gear and troops you have, of course. I have infantry T4. That's why I'm using him as a tank. Before we go to talent tree, let's just finish this before I go into talent tree because I'm going to miss the opportunity of grabbing this. As you can see, getting egg baskets, it takes time, but I'm almost done. It's been a grind. Obviously, the best thing you can do, and people have probably already said this in their head before I got halfway into this video here, is joining Barb trains. So a lot of the time, if you ask in Alliance chat, hey, where is everybody right now? Is anybody hunting barbs? You can probably find a group. Maybe you won't. Maybe your online time where you can burn action points is a lot of other people's downtime, which happens. It happens to me all the time because I'm in Canada. It just happens all the time to me. But if you can't do barb trains, this is what I suggest. You're going to last a long time. And the reason it's so beneficial is because every primary commander you're using against barbarians should, of course, be a peacekeeping commander for a number of reasons. First reason is insight. It reduces the amount of action points you need as you attack. So the first time you hit a barbarian, it's typically 50 action points. But if you have this maxed out, it's going to be starting at 40. Then every time you attack a barbarian, you get -2 off the next attack up to a total of 10. So after you've hit 5 barbarians, each time you hit a barb, it'll only cost you 30 action points. And I can show you that. Should be close. I might not have a full pull on this yet. Let's go over to this one. I just don't want to hit AoE on these other commanders just because I'll lose the march. But how much is this going to cost me? We're down to 30 already. So this Lohar's already down to 30. I've already beat more than 5 barbarians. So insight is fully working for him. You also want quick study. It only makes sense. You're getting more experience, and the whole point of barbarians in most cases is for getting experience on your secondary commander and even your primary commander. It also works on guardians, which is huge. If you're going around hunting guardians, you need to have peacekeeping commanders as primary. It's a no-brainer. For doing barbarians where you're using action points, you 100% want Trophy Hunter. You're going to get free resources by having Trophy Hunter unlocked. It should be unlocked on every single one of your peacekeeping commanders. I have it on every single one, and there's no exception to it. It has to be done. If you don't have it, you are missing out on so many resources. You're going to get so many from these level 1 resource pack Cs. And when you're in war or you need to do a big building like City Hall 25, you can use all of these and you're going to get a whack load of resources. Instead of gathering or using your specific items, you can just pop those and it really helps. But okay, let's just finish this one off. We won't go to red. We'll go right about there. That's good enough. And we'll go back into here. So I don't, and sorry, the zoom on the PC version isn't great. I do not go to Curing Chant. I don't even go to the north side of the Peacekeeping talent tree. I don't think it's great. You do have this talent double-edged sword, which I find kind of counterintuitive. Increases damage dealt to barbarians by 5%, but also increases damage taken, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yes, you get enhanced healing effects, but I don't suggest this. I don't suggest going to the end either. Maybe somebody will disagree and you can leave a comment below on your math, but I really don't think it's worth it. You have so many better talents to go for, especially when you're talking about the support tree on Lohar. You want Rejuvenate. Obviously, your primary skill is the most beneficial to any march you have. And then Emergency Protection is always good to have, as well as Elixir. And I will go to Counterattack, which is always good. When healed, troops led by this commander will increase their attack by 9% once it's fully up for 3 seconds. I do get all of those, and then I'll, come up into here and probably go for fresh recruits if I have enough talents. I believe you can get that, but I don't pay too much attention to integration. I think there might be some march speed in here somewhere too, which would be nice. Is it in here? Yeah, I guess if you're using cavalry, but it has to be reduced to less than 50%. There's the march speed. So you could probably go for either march speed or fresh recruits. Choice is yours. It's not overly important. I would just say get these peacekeeping talents up to thoroughbred and obviously trophy hunter, and then go up to rejuvenate and emergency protection. Something like Boudica, where you have the skill tree, it's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to go up to clarity. I'll get rejuvenate. If I have enough talents, maybe I'll go to feral nature, because I don't think that integration's that great unless I want the march speed, which is great to have. That's 9% march speed when you're done. So if you don't think feral nature is worth it because of the rage cap, then go to march speed. I don't think there's too many others. I guess, yeah, we should talk about our buddy Belisarius here. Same thing over there. I then, of course, go to Undying Fury. I did go and grab the march speed just because I use this march to either join rallies from a distance, so you want that march speed, or for grabbing runes with a T1 one troop march to go and grab a rune quickly when you're fighting. It's necessary to have Belisarius leveled up. So I'll probably just go for the march speed on this commander, maybe get Emblazoned Shield, but I'm not paying too much attention to him. He'll just level up over time, and I probably won't even put stars onto him anytime soon. What else? Do we have any other peacekeeping commanders in here that have different talents? I don't think so. Support, we already went over with Lohar. I'm not going to use gold stars to level her up to 5-star. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's the talent tree, and that's how I go about defeating barbarians in Lost Kingdom. It is a lot harder as free to play. If I had spent, a couple $100 on this account, I would be doing a lot better. I'd be running, Amina, running around with a good double C, and have better commanders, higher level, Richard at a higher skill level, because I would have been able to spin the wheel more often. So, of course, free to play has a lot harder of a time. You want to make sure you got your rune, your defensive buff. You want to make sure that your commander window is, and I didn't even do it. Look at that. I'm talking and didn't even do it myself. You want to make sure Lohar has this damage to barbarians and commander experience gained. I don't know why Sun Tzu was in there. That's a great question. No idea why. And then health. You know what? We already have attack with Richard. This does count towards your primary and your secondary commander. So I'm getting both the troop attack and the damage to barbarians from my primary Lohar Richard March. These act like skills, not like talents. So they work on each of the commanders. So definitely something you want to know. Is there anything else I do? Not really. You can scout if you want to add a few more, attack points. Can you do anything else? You could, can't really change your civilization, but you can change your skin. Obviously, I already have a great one. It's to infantry defense. So that works out really well. I don't think there's too much else you can do other than having somewhat decent tech, which I do have. Definitely a benefit that I've unlocked Academy 24. So I've been able to do that higher T4 research, which I will show you here under military technology, way up at the back here. I've done a lot of infantry tech for T4. I've even done some for archers and cavalry, which are in my mixed troop marches. As you can tell by the troops I'm using a mishmash of everything. I split them up 25% to each one of these 4 marches, and then my primary march obviously has full infantry. It is the special infantry unit because I run France. France is a no-brainer for healing speed during war, especially because I enjoy field fighting more than anything else. So that is where I spend most of my time during war. Obviously jump into flags and rallies, but as a free-to-play, you only have so many troops you can throw away without becoming absolutely useless. But here we go. My march is not too full. I'll probably have to jump down to like this 27 or this 29 to kind of recuperate my troops. And that way I have a full march again, or as close as I can be to full. But this way allows me to get this up so I can finish off such an awesome event, the 7K gem event. So fantastic. I'm going to finish it. Without a doubt, I can already finish level 23, get to level 24, and I'll have some more on the next level by the time I smash these. And then once I reach 100 of these egg baskets, I should be finished the next level or close to it. So I'll just have a little bit more left to do. Obviously, if you caught my previous videos, you do want to be collecting your resources as often as possible, because you literally get free eggs from just grabbing the resources your city's automatically accumulating. Just makes it super easy. Should I get anything here? No. Wow, that one had absolutely nothing. I don't have the highest amount of resources, but I still like to buy a lot of things from the merchant. Obviously do your free chests. I'm going to do gold keys eventually coming up right before the next war, so that'll be next weekend in a couple days. Now let's go beat this barbarian now. He's almost in the red. Let's just do it now since my Lohar is taking a bit of a beating. And then I'm going to go down and beat this level 27 and this 29. And my Lohar will be back up to full strength, and I can start hitting the higher ones again. But there you go, guys. That's how I've been approaching this. I have done level 25 on the Bunny Bonanza on 3 accounts. My pay to win account is very easy to do because I unlocked the 4th column. My very low spending account, 2396, was easy to do because I have full T4 marches and really good commanders on that account. So that was easy. This has been a drag. Barb chains are the best, but if you do not have access to barb chains, then this is my suggestion. You're going to keep your action point burn low, and honestly, it does take a bit of time. You have to keep an eye on it. But even if you forget about Lohar and you miss hitting the other marches with it, he's fine. He's totally fine by himself. You don't have to worry about him. He's not going to die unless you are hitting 35s after 35s and not letting him jump back up to his full troop capacity. But besides that, he does totally fine. So we'll finish this one off, and that's how I'll end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's more of just a quick free-to-play tip. Nothing crazy, but I did just kind of want to get this out there because I was having trouble with it. So if I'm having trouble with it, I can only imagine other people in my kingdom and in this lost kingdom are having troubles as well. And anything that can help people, I'm all for it. Please do, if you want to leave a comment below or think there's more information you want, take a look down below. There's a lot of very experienced players who jump into, oh, don't miss this. Jump into, oh, see, this is the problem. Did I miss it? No. Oh, I'm glad they were close. I almost missed it. And he's pretty close. So once I hit this 29, he'll be maxed out. But there's a lot of experienced players who do chime in on my comments. I really appreciate it. And definitely take a look at those. I'm sure people will have more suggestions down below. So until next time, guys, thank you for checking this out. I hope you had a good Easter long weekend. Mine is now over. It's back to reality tomorrow, back to work, but I'll have another video soon and hopefully live stream of war this weekend. Very excited about it, guys. Have a good one. Later.